Hey guys, it's Brock here from Window Cleaning World. Here we have one of our two-story water fed packages. This one's with the hose reel. We're going to be using this for our demo to show you how to assemble and set up your water fed kit when you receive it, and then we're going to show you how to use it. This is our 8-litre deionizing tank, or DI for short. It has an 8-litre capacity. This is filled with resin when you receive the package. In here is a carbon filter. Here we have the inlet of the unit, so the water goes in here, it goes through here and in the unit, which is filtered by the resin and exits here at the outlet. There's a handle here for carrying. There's also included a filter wrench here, so you can use that to undo this housing when you need to change the filter. So with this particular size of tank, which is 8 litres, every third time you change the resin, we recommend changing this carbon filter. This is a Kleber Kuros hose reel. This one currently has 30 meters of 8mm delivery hose on it. We can see here is the inlet on the side of the hose reel, and obviously this is the outlet. Here we have the handle for rolling the hose back up, and these are optional in some of our packages. This is the Gardner CLX22 pole. This is an excellent pole for up to 2-story window cleaning, and we'll show very shortly how to connect all this up with your water fed package, but we'll just touch on the clamps here. So we have what we call clamp number 1. If you open this up, this is where we'll insert the pole tip to hold the brush, and you'll lock that off. So you won't have to use this one very often, but clamp 2, you'll open that up and you can extend the pole out and lock it off at the desired height. And that's very simply how you can extend and retract your pole. Here we have a pole hose kit. These come with every water fed package that we sell. Now, something important to note are these fittings. We use a lot of push fit fittings in a lot of the packages and other things that we sell on the website. This here, that right there, and there, these are all push fit fittings. Now, there's a specific way to undo these. You want to push this collar this way. So into the fitting, we push that down. I can then remove this fitting here. To fit it back up, you just push it in and make sure it's pushed in all the way, just like that. You have a small tap here for turning off the water if you need to turn it off for a few minutes. If you need to turn off the system for a lot longer, we recommend just turning it off at the tap. And here we just have a small foam ball. This acts as a sacrificial sort of device to try and protect these fittings if you're dragging hoses along the ground. Here we have the Gardner Quick Lock Pole Tip Type 1. This is specifically for connecting to Gardner brushes and also some other accessories. We have this nice square lock here. This one has a built-in tube, so the orange pole tube we looked at before will connect into here, and then this connects to our brush. So I have the brush here that comes in a lot of our packages. They can vary sometimes depending on the stock we can get, but this here is simply connected by pushing that in, and we'll push that little silver push button down, and that's locked in. The other feature is we have this lever here which you can open up, and we can change the adjustment of this tip, which will also demonstrate when we've got this attached to the pole. So you go ahead and lock that down. That's nice and firm. And again, we have some more push fits here. We have push fits on these jets. These are called jet capsules. They're very easy to change, and we have a range of different sizes, and we have fan jet ones as well. All the Gardner brushes come with 2mm pencil jets from stock. But again, push fits here, these are push fits. So again, to connect that, we just push that in and make sure that it gets pushed in all the way. Again, a push fit here, we have another push fit fitting down the bottom. So that is the Gardner Quick Lock Pole Tip Type 1. And then we have here the Superlight Dual Trim Flocked Brush. Here we have 2 lead hoses. They are 1.5 meters long each. If you purchase a kit with a hose reel, you'll get 2 of these. If you purchase a kit without a hose reel, you'll just get 1. They come with tap adapters pre-installed, and they are used for connecting from a tank to the tap, and then from a tank to your hose reel, and we'll demonstrate that later on in the video. The other component you'll have in your package is this funnel. This is used to refill the resin in your tank. Now we're just going to quickly demonstrate with this bare tank here. Obviously the one you'll have may vary. You may have a trolley system, you may have the smaller 4-litre tank, depends on the package you've got. But here all you need to do is undo the tank by unscrewing it clockwise, and then you just pull it out, and you'll notice this grey tube here. This is called the riser tube. and these are called baskets. These basically stop the resin from escaping the tank. So this riser tube, it may actually come apart like that as you're pulling the tank head apart. This may stay inside with all the resin. That is completely fine. So in our other video, which shows you how to refill the resin, you'll see all this, how to empty the resin, how to refill the tank. But basically, we have the riser tube back in the tank here, and this funnel is designed to fit over, this cap here fits over this riser tube and holds it in the center. So when you're refilling the tank with resin, we don't have any resin going down the riser tube. So that's the purpose of the funnel. You won't need to use it straight away. It's for later down the track. This is the TDS meter. We'll be using this to monitor the TDS of the water. Now, TDS stands for total dissolved solids or salts, and this is what we use to measure the ppm, or the parts per million. It's very important to use this to monitor the health of your resin, and we'll demonstrate this again shortly as we set up the system. But you've simply got an on-off button here. We'll pretty much only be using that on-off button and this small little cap that comes with the system. And now we're going to go get that all set up and show you how it all works. Okay, we're here at our testing station at the shop, but here we have our tap, very same as you'd have at home or on the job. So all you need to do is take your lead hose and plug it into the tap, and then plug it into the carbon filter inlet there. If you have the small 4-litre tank or the 12-litre tank, it will be a little bit different, but you can always look at the top of the fittings and it'll show where the inlet and outlet is. Okay, we have the DI tank set up now with some water running through it. Just a little bit of pressure, we don't need all the pressure. You want to take your TDS meter and the little black cap off it and take a small water sample. And then you want to put that back on and you'll get a reading. Now this resin is brand new, so it's showing 0 TDS, which is exactly what you want for cleaning windows. You really want to be consistent with checking this, so before and after the job, check the TDS of the water coming out of the tank, even check the water coming from the tap. But once this reaches 0 to 0 or 20 ppm, you want to change your resin. Any higher than that, you'll start to see spotting on your windows. So now we're going to connect from the outlet of the blue tank and then connect to the inlet of our hose reel. Then you want to take your pole tube kit and we can connect that to the outlet on the hose of our hose reel. If you're not using a hose reel, maybe you're going to use your hose you've already got at home. You'll basically not worry about this part. You would connect your own hose to the outlet of the blue tank and then connect the other end to this end of the pole tube. Okay, so now we're going to take our pole tube kit. So I've just undone it. I've got it laid on the ground. We've found the other end and we're just going to feed, get up here nice and close to the camera. There's a small hole here in this end cap, which this end cap is very important for protecting the end of the pole. So we're just going to take the orange hose and feed it up, and you'll be able to feed this hose all the way to the other end of the pole so it comes out like that. So we'll go ahead and grab this tube. We've got our quick lock connector with our brush that's already connected from earlier, and all we need to do is go ahead and push that into that fitting there. We're then going to open up clamp number 1, and then we'll push this down into the pole. We want to make sure that it goes all the way in. This here is not all the way. It doesn't have full strength. So if we go ahead and push it all the way down like that, then we can lock it off. And now we're ready to get cleaning. Okay, so we've got water running through the whole unit now. And we can see water coming out of the 2 jets of the brushes. But this pressure is much too high. This is too high for window cleaning. You're essentially going to waste water because the water's not going to all end up on the glass. So what we're going to do is just turn down the tap to reduce the pressure. We'll see it starting to come down. And all you want is just a nice stream of water coming out. And that way you'll get a nice rinse and you'll conserve your water. You won't go through your resin so quickly. All right, we're just getting our pole set up now. So I've turned the small tap off on our pole hose kit just so I can get the pole set up. So what you want to go ahead and do is open up clamp number 2. Now we can extend the pole, and as the pole goes up, the tube goes up the center of the pole with it. Now I've gone to the limit here, but we can see there's a change in the color of the pole. And what I want to do is actually bring that back down and then lock the pole off there. That way it's still at a safe length to use. And then we'll just go from our next clamp, and we're going to keep doing that until we reach basically the bottom of the window. Now the brush is at the bottom of the window. I still have some length down here where I can now move the pole up and down. I'm going to go ahead and turn the water back on, just with that short valve there. And it might be a little bit hard to see, we'll try and zoom in, but we've got a nice flow of water there. Now, a very quick tutorial of how to clean the windows. All we want to do is nice up and down overlapping motions, just like that. If you're very new to this, take your time. There's no rush in doing this. One other thing you can do when you start is put the brush right up the top and give that top sill a nice clean. But just nice overlapping passes up and down. And once you've done that, maybe 4 or 5 times with the window, if you're not sure if it's clean enough, you can go inside and go check if it's been scrubbed enough. When you think it's been scrubbed enough, you want to go ahead and lift the brush off the glass. We might be able to see there that we're getting a nice rinse. I'm moving the brush side to side to try and get a nice stream of water all the way down the glass. And rinsing is the key. Really good scrubbing and really good rinsing. With nice purified water, you'll get a perfect finish, perfect spot-free finish on your windows. Now that I've finished cleaning my windows, I'm just going to collapse my pole down. Very carefully bring your pole sections down. You don't want them to hit into each other. You can break them off if you're not careful. So I'm going to bring this down. We're going to wind up all our tubes. If you want to, you can take the tube out of this pole. You just undo your first clamp. And then remember, we push that collar up on that push fit, and we can take our hose out and we can wrap our hoses up. Be very careful when you're storing this. You want to store it in a place where the bristles don't get damaged. If they're leaning up against something, they can be misshapen. So even if you can hang it up somewhere or leave it in your pole, store it against something so they're not disturbed. Okay, now that we've finished the job, just to pack this up and store it, you can actually use your lead hose and you can plug in to both ends. And this has sealed this tank now. So you'd like it to be sealed when you're not using it. If you're not using it for a long time, this is the best way to store this. Or we have some optional block offs just to just block off these fittings here. Best to just leave it in the garage, out of sunlight, and this thing will last forever. Okay, that's a quick video on showing how to use our 2-story water fed kit. This is very applicable to all our packages that we have on the website. There's a few little differences here and there, but overall it's very much the same. If you have any questions, you can always call us or email us. You can even text us at the shop and we can help you out with anything you need.